Sports Scene, Hampton Road's premier interview show with Greg Bicouvaris, each Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11.
And you look at that, 4-4 at home, which is just average, 4-3-1 on the road. I mean, you're not going to win any games like that. They were not the same team after they beat the Packers, yet the Packers were a totally different team.
Interact with Sports Scene on Twitter @GregBic and listen weekly as Greg interviews distinguished guests with excellent commentary and insight. Sports Scene, Saturdays at 10 a.m. on the Lighthouse 100.1 FM.
Mark your calendar for October 18th through the 20th as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church presents the Newport News Greek Festival Fall Edition, an indoor event inside the Hellenic Center. Enjoy Greek food, beverages, desserts, dancing, arts and crafts, and much more. Located on 60 Traverse Road off exit 258B on I-64 with free admission and parking. Log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. See you October 18th through 20th for the Newport News Greek Festival Fall Edition.
Opa! From Chesapeake, Virginia, the Lighthouse 100.1 presents Sports Scene. Sports Scene features local, regional, and nationally acclaimed guests and excellent interviews. Follow Sports Scene on Twitter @GregBic. Now here is Greg Bicouvaris.
Sports Scene is midweek online, Saturday on the radio from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on 100.1 FM, 1010 a.m. The Lighthouse. TuneIn.com, type in WPMH in the search bar to listen. On the radio, Greg Bicouvaris, Joe Daniel, glad you're with us. Please tell your friends. Sports Scene is an interview show. Also, watch sports highlights on nnpstv.com. Tell your friends about gjbtv.com and click the YouTube link on the homepage for archived audio and video. Twitter @GregBic, @GJBRadio, and you can see the rest of my Twitter handles on gjbtv.com in the contact section. Thank you to our military. Guest lineup presented by Outback Steakhouse in Kempsville, now delivering. Sponsors on gjbtv.com, marketplace sponsors, and HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Phone line presented by Me Casita with 2 locations, Virginia Beach. Show presented by HRSMHOF.com. College football and NFL in full swing. Major League Baseball season is almost done. Congratulations to Old Dominion for beating Virginia Tech in football. Great interviews, business segments, highlights, commentary, what teased me off. Thank you for making the habit to listen to Sports Scene weekly, and we love our regulars, newcomers, and tourists. Stay tuned.
Mark your calendar for October 18th through the 20th as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church presents the Newport News Greek Festival Fall Edition, an indoor event inside the Hellenic Center. Enjoy Greek food, beverages, desserts, dancing, arts and crafts, and much more. Located on 60 Traverse Road off exit 258B on I-64 with free admission and parking. Log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. See you October 18th through 20th for the Newport News Greek Festival Fall Edition.
Opa! Catch up on archived editions of Sports Scene by going to gjbtv.com and clicking the YouTube image on the homepage. Now back to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris.
And welcome back to Sports Scene. It's a pleasure to talk to Tony McGee, who played for the Bears, the Patriots, and the Redskins. You've seen him on TV for several decades in the DMV. How are you, Tony?
Oh, doing good. How you doing?
Very good, my friend. Very good. Thank you for being on Sports Scene. Let's get right to it right away. Let's start off with all your teams like we always do. The Bears are 2-1, and of course they got Mac and they've got Tampa Bay. They're looking really confident to start off the year.
Well, you know what you have to look back at those Bears is last year, without having Mac, they were number 4 defense in the league. This year they got him. The quarterback has grown. The running back is better. The Bears may be the team to look to be the team to beat this year in that division. I know Green Bay, they talk about them, and you know Aaron's hurt a little bit. Detroit is iffy. Minnesota, now we got a question. Can Gary Cousins get it done? The Bears is the team to watch.
Right, the Vikings are 1-1, and they really look bad against the Bills. All right, let's move on to the Patriots. They're 1-2. They're struggling. Is this just them trying to feel themselves out early, or is this just the teams are getting better?
I think the teams are getting better as well as I think they thought they were better than they are. And they got rid of a lot of key people. And by getting rid of those people right now, and getting people hurt. They have no wide receivers. Josh Gordon would be a blessing for them if they can keep his head on right and he can become that receiver. Right now, they do not have receivers that can separate themselves. They lost their number one running back. They let some linemen go. They got rid of their best pass rusher, thinking I guess they can replace him. And the guy that they were going to replace him with is hurt now, so they're hurting. And then now people have realized, what you and I have said before, if you hit Brady early, he will be rattled, and you've seen that.
Mm-hmm. Very good. The Redskins, who I cover a lot for Fox, and you've done your show, you play for the Redskins. They're also 2-1. They're kind of up and down. But here's my thing, Tony. This is a horrible time to have a bye week just after 3 games.
Yeah, and people hate that, and it may be good in some ways. And the only reason I'm saying that now is for the simple reason. They got some linemen hurt now, and that offensive line is going to be the key to keeping Alex Smith healthy this year and having a good running game. So this may be a good time for them so they can get some offensive linemen well. I think that they got some Trent Williams got something going on, and then both tackles got something going on, so it may be good. At the same time, they were starting to get into a groove. The defense went into the game on Sunday being the number one defense in the NFL. Now, I don't know if they're still there, but that's a marked improvement. And then when you got Alex Smith, he comes there, he doesn't only bring being a great quarterback, he brings leadership to this team. And this is something they sorely needed for a lot of years. And he does things, and the tenacity that he shows really helped the team. But then you drop Adrian Peterson in, who's running with bad intentions. He wants people to know he's still a bad man. And I tell you what, they made a bad team. And I can't go without saying those 2 defensive tackles that they got from Alabama, I call them the Alabama Bucks. Mm-hmm. Them 2 guys can play. And so their team is set. Maybe not a good time for everybody right now, but it is a good time for them. It helped them nurse their injuries.
Right, because Dallas, the Giants, and the Eagles have shown already they're very vulnerable. The Redskins just have to keep on keeping on, but they've got to be consistent. Like you said, they got a quarterback who will eat you up alive. He's a grinder for sure. All right, let's get to another team that you cover a lot, the Falcons. They're 1-2. They got Cincy this weekend, and, of course, you do the uniforms for them.
Yes, and I tell you what's happened to them. They were in very good shape to the first game. Within the first 3 games, they've lost 4 major starters. 2 of them were Pro Bowlers, and all of them on defense. No, one of them was offensive guard. So they've lost 4 starters in the last 3 games, and now they're hurting on defense. Their running game, their number one running back haven't played yet this year. He's been hurt. So they got some problems down there. They can score, but they can't stop anybody, and they still don't have their running game together where they can control the ball. So they got some problems, and I don't know if they can get – these people are out for the year. Matter of fact, they lost another safety the other day. He tore his Achilles. So now they are probably a team that's going to be in trouble. They're 1-2. They could have won that game the other day, but shoddy tackling and different play calls is the thing that made the difference. And Drew Brees will always beat you if you don't get to him early. And, you know, Greg, a lot of people don't know how to get to him. All they kept trying to do is get to him and sack him. With a quarterback like Brees, you have your defensive linemen stay in their lane, go 2 yards on the other line of scrimmage, stop, and get their hands up. He would not be able to see over him, and that'll control him. But they stopped. They didn't do that, and that's why they lost that game. And they are in trouble.
Yes, Tony McGee right here, former Bear, Patriot, Redskin. Glad you're with us. Tony will tell us where you can watch him on TV as well before we close out the interview. Here's some surprises. The drama with one of the Buffalo Bills guys quitting during halftime a few weeks ago. And who would think the Steelers at 1-2, they're improving, but they've had their drama with their players off the field as well. And usually the Steelers are very buttoned up.
Well, you know, the Steelers started to slip a little bit last year, and I look at their star running back, who has averaged 129 yards a game for 5 years, which has never been done in the NFL, is out. He want to be paid like that. But at the same time, they have other problems. Their defense is not that good as it used to be. Their pass rush is okay. They are the kind of team that it'll depend on what Big Ben is doing. And Big Ben, in some games, have acted as if he weren't interested. Right. But I know he is. So he'll have to continue to carry that team until they get Bell back in there. But I don't know if they're going to get Bell back in there because they got both of them are standing a hard line. Buffalo, when a player quits in the middle of the at the halftime, I had that happen to me one time, and I saw this, and I understood why. And I'll give you a quick a scenario on that. I played in Chicago my first few years, and they had a great running back there. You may know his name, Gale Sayers.
Right.
And we were playing St. Louis, and we were playing them, and it was a halftime. Now, I'm a rookie. I never seen, I'm enamored just being there with him and people like Dick Buckers and stuff. Gale Sayers made one, and I remember the name of the play was the 26 hustle. They used to run it for him, where he run on the outside, and they pulled two guards, then he cut back or do whatever he need. He went against St. Louis. He cut back. He was 10 yards in the clear, and his leg gave out on him. And he went in at halftime, and I locked it right next to him. He threw his helmet under there and said, "I'm through." He knew I couldn't do it. I think that's what happened to that young man. And a lot of people are angry about it because they say he should have let him know early, but he realized on that field that he did not want to be there anymore, and he couldn't do it. And I've seen players do that before. So now you have to be a judge. Was he honest, or was it wrong for him not to tell the team prior?
Right. Talking to Tony McGee. Tony, real quick question. How was the relationship between Gale Sayers and Walter Payton?
Well, Gale was not there when Walter came. Matter of fact, Walter came the year after I left, and Gale was not there. Gale was there. They had a lot of other running backs, but even at that state, if they'd have had the kind of medical staff that they have now, Gale's career probably would have gone a lot longer. But Gale was an easy guy to get along with, a very quiet guy. Me and him developed a friendship, and I tell you what, right now, I don't know how he's doing. I haven't talked to him in a while, but Gale was a great guy to get along with. So I think if Walter had been there, it would not have been a problem.
Right. There are just two big stars that played for the Bears, like you said yourself, and Dick Buckus as well, and over the years. Who would have told you at the beginning of the year the Dolphins and Kansas City both undefeated, and Kansas City's got a new quarterback too?
Okay, let's go with the Dolphins first. The Dolphins were okay last year. Then their quarterback got hurt. They've changed some defensive personnel. They got rid of their number one running back last year. They're starting to work their way into that. But they're only that good right now because they played better. But they've played well the last few years. But now you take a look at them, I still don't have a faith that they can maintain this throughout the year. I may be wrong. But I just don't know if they can do it. And can the quarterback come back? Can he continue to play that way? Now, Kansas City, yes, that young man is phenomenal. But one thing you got to remember, let's go back to Kaepernick. When he first came, and that's why Alex Smith is not in San Francisco. And he was outstanding. He could run. He could do everything. He could throw on the run. He could fake. He could do everything. But then when they gave the league a year to take a look at him, they figured him out. And that's what happened to this young man. They can't figure him out right now. He's doing some great things. But I don't really anticipate him being able to do that the whole year because they got 12 more games, 13 more games to figure him out. So Kansas City, yes, they got a good coach, they got a good staff, but they got rid of some good people. And young quarterbacks, they just like anything else. They start off really good, but people figure them out and they slow down and they'll come back. But I don't see him doing that the whole year. I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, you see in the next greatest quarterback we may have seen.
Right, and back to Miami, of course, they're 3-0. New England, Buffalo, and the Jets right now are 1-2. You know New England will be there toward the end of the year, but not sure about Buffalo and the Jets, so the Dolphins could sneak in. You never know. Tony, tell the people how they can watch you on TV.
Well, we're on Master Mid-Atlantic Sports Network. We're on Wednesday and Friday nights at 10:30. We're also on Saturday mornings at 9:30, and they usually pop us in there again at 12 o'clock on Sunday. Anybody that has a direct TV sports package can get us. We've been on there. This is our 34th year. We've been blessed with that. I got the crew together. And what we're doing now is really, if anyone is interested, we're going out to restaurants. We're going out, Mike. We got some dates with Geico. We go to their headquarters. We go to the Redskins alumni. I take my whole crew there. And this year we're working with Children's Hospital to do a show over there. So we're very happy with what we're doing. And I tell you what, I think about you because you went to school with my oldest son, so I'm getting a chance to talk to a young person.
Yes, and hopefully I can get on your show one of these days, too. I love it. It's funny, Baker, I interviewed him in college when I was at George Mason way back in the late 80s, so I've known him for a long time, too. But look at you like family, of course. Final few questions. Tell the fans about the uniforms, the policies. Not every uniform is as clean as the Colts, the Raiders, and the Packers. A lot of these uniforms, they mix them up, and then, of course, Thursday Night Football, they like to do those color rushes as well.
Well, I can't just go into that because that's part of my job, but I can tell you this.
Sure.
You have to have the correct uniforms on, and the sponsors that are sponsoring these want to make sure that they're wearing the correct uniforms. And I can tell you this, I'll tell you about the uniform, and this is what I'll tell you to watch. I've been doing that. This is my 25th year doing that. I've noticed over the tendency, the teams that really try to follow the uniform instructions usually are the teams that win. The teams that violate all the uniform instructions are usually the teams that don't win. I don't know if that's a fact, but that's something that I see. And I tell you what is important, but I can't tell you the things that happen with uniform, but I can tell you what, players can be fined a lot of money for not doing right with their uniforms.
Yep, a lot of times they try to individualize it, and usually, a coach is a control freak. He likes to control everything, whether it's the NFL or college. Let me ask you real quick, because the Nationals are not going to the postseason this year. I think they made a big mistake getting rid of Dusty Baker. They got a manager right now who all year long is saying is, we're good, we're good, we're good. Well, they're not that good. They're not making the postseason. They're getting rid of a lot of players. When they lost Dusty Baker, in my opinion, they lost the Nationals too.
Yes, they did. Dusty Baker did a great job, and I think they even lost Harper a little bit because he's hitting home runs this year, but he's not. His average is about 245, and I think they lost him in a way. I think they lost a lot of the players. They were on the brink of being a very good team, and they got rid of him. I saw that happen a few years ago in Chicago the same way when they had Lovely Smith, and he won 10 games, and they got rid of him. Teams have to realize it's a chemistry. It ain't just a business. Players have to have the right chemistry to play together, and players have to have the right chemistry to play with for their coaches. And when they let Dusty Baker go, they made a big mistake.
Yeah, they're going to pay for it for years because, like you said, Harper's attitude has been sour all year long. A couple college notes real quick. What happened at the University of Maryland this past summer, the kid getting killed basically right after practice. They have to have water. They have to have Gatorade. And it's my opinion that adults need to be responsible for these kids.
Well, not just on the college level, on all levels, and that's even professional. Got to stay hydrated. Right now, this weather has been all over the country really different. I mean, even in Georgia, it's been the kind of weather that you could barely just deal with. And these players out there in uniforms and even on basketball courts and stuff, everyone has to take care of themselves. And you're right. Parents do have to be involved in it, as well as coaches and everyone, the players themselves.
Finally, down here, Old Dominion beat Virginia Tech in football, Tony. I'll leave you with that. Old Dominion was 0-3, playing a top-tier team like Virginia Tech, and they made Virginia Tech look really bad.
Old Dominion, I tell you what, it's the same thing that's transpiring in college football as in professional football. We're seeing a changing of the guards. We're seeing these teams that haven't been good in a long time, or they didn't play right, or they're starting to become the better team. And that's what happened in that game. Old Dominion came out and they took Virginia Tech apart, and it's going to let other teams know this can be done. So now what we're seeing, transition, changing of the guard, NFL as well as college.
Tony, all the best. Thank you for your time, your talent, and your treasure. We look forward to talking to you down the road, and thank you for all that you do.
Always. Keep in touch with me. Take care, my man.
You too, my friend. Tony McGee right there, former Redskins, Bears, New England Patriots. Want to thank our good friends at CP Shuckers Locals Tradition on Shore Drive, Pacific Avenue. Delicious food, great appetizers, steak bites, all your favorites, excellent specials, burgers, all the games on TV. Go by and see Matt, Mark, Chef Leon. For more, go to cpshuckers.com. Like them on Facebook. Your football headquarters is CP Shuckers.
Mark your calendar for October 18th through the 20th as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church presents the Newport News Greek Festival Fall Edition, an indoor event inside the Hellenic Center. Enjoy Greek food, beverages, desserts, dancing, arts and crafts, and much more. Located on 60 Traverse Road off exit 258B on I-64 with free admission and parking. Log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. See you October 18th through 20th for the Newport News Greek Festival Fall Edition.
Opa! Are you searching for a genuine connection with God and others? Then join Virginia Beach United Methodist this week for worship, life groups, holy yoga, or one of the many other activities we offer every week in a warm and friendly environment. We are located at 212 19th Street in Virginia Beach with modern services at 9:30 a.m. and traditional services at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. For more information, please visit our website at vbumc.org or call 757-428-7727.
The best guests appear here on Sports Scene. Now back to Greg in the Hampton Roads OnlineMall.com studios.
All right, I want to thank our good friends at Barrel 17. Go by and see Jamie and Chris and the wonderful staff at 1706 Mediterranean Avenue in Virginia Beach. Get some great appetizers, burgers, dogs, chicken sandwiches, salads, house-cut fries, beer-battered onion rings, cheesesteaks, desserts. They have it all at Barrel 17. Like them on Facebook, open 7 days a week. Kick back, watch the game, eat a great meal at Barrel 17. It's a pleasure to talk to Sonny Dearth, who's been with the Daily Press for 30-plus years. Sonny, welcome back to Sports Scene.
Oh, thanks a lot, Greg.
Sonny, what a weekend, first of all. And, of course, you've always been to a point saying that schools like James Madison can beat anybody. Sure, Old Dominion is now FBS, but still, year 10, they were 0-3. This caught everybody by surprise.
Oh, for sure. Maybe the most interesting result in football around here since I've been around.
Yeah, definitely, because Tech was always built up as a powerhouse. But here are a couple factors that Old Dominion had a spark off the bench with their backup quarterback, who was truly a leader of the team, who definitely had a spark because the first 3 weeks, Old Dominion was anemic. Tech looked very solid against Florida State and William & Mary. So basically, this caught everybody's surprise. But football is football. It's once a week. Anything can happen. How about your alma mater, Sonny? Off to a very good start.
Yeah, they gave NC State a highly competitive game in their opener, and since then they've been untouchable. You know, it's ridiculous. They're favored by 34 points to beat Richmond. I've never seen anything like that.
And they totally destroyed Jimmy Laycock and Wade Mary as well on the road, too. It's never easy to win on the road, and Madison is showing they can win on the home, on the road, on neutral sites, so forth. Your thoughts about Laycock, whether he makes the postseason or not, it's still too early, but 39 years at one place is unbelievable.
Yeah, certainly looking for him to be better than last week's 51-0 loss to JMU, but I think they have a chance at least to finish around 500.
Very nice, very nice.
Fitting in for him. He's had so many good seasons, and he's such an institution in this state.
It's still early for Virginia, but they're playing very well. Still not drawing like they used to, but they're getting better each week. I guess for the Cavalier fans, they love seeing Virginia Tech get beat, and this might be the year that UVA at least can make the Tech game very interesting.
Oh, sure. I think the Cavs have a legitimate shot to get to a bowl. Kendrick Perkins is the best quarterback they've had in a long time. He's a highlight film waiting to happen.
What has surprised you so far, Sonny? You're seeing even Maryland off to a pretty good start, considering they had a unfortunate passing away from one of their players. They've kind of rallied around that. Ohio State has done very well, considering Meyer was suspended. He's back now. Penn State's off to a good start. Alabama is Alabama. But Florida State is not Florida State this year.
Well, basically, I think the whole ACC is down except for Clemson. I'll be shocked if the Tigers don't win the ACC.
Very nice. Talking to Sonny Dearth. Sonny, 30-plus years at Daily Press. Now you're combining forces with the Pilot. You're owned by the same company. For a long time, you guys were rivals in a way, but now you're really coming together.
Yeah, that was certainly one of the most interesting things in our industry since I've been here, and it's great to work with those guys over at the Pilot. Our sports editor now for Virginia Media, as it's called, is Jamie Frankenberry.
Boy, it would be nice if you could do the TV radio log for the Pilot as well. Just kind of use the same one for the Daily Press. That would be really nice because you've done such a great job with Page 2 and the TV radio log over the years.
Well, you know what I mean? It's kind of cool. We can run stories by guys like Ed Miller and David Hall and Larry Rabama and Ray Nima, and they get to run stories by Norm Wood and Dave Johnson and David Teal.
Mm-hmm. So kind of a great mix and match for sure. Switching gears to the NFL, the Redskins are off to a 2-1 start. Maybe up and down, but Alex Smith he definitely gets it done. He is a counterpuncher.
Well, I think on Sunday they kind of found out maybe that was why the Redskins were willing to let Kirk Cousins go. He struggled in a surprising loss to Buffalo, and Alex Smith was very efficient as they beat the Packers.
Yeah, and the Vikings have a good game on Thursday night as well against the Rams, so they'll really have a tough test as well. Talking to Sonny Dearth. Sonny, you talk about the NFL. The Raiders are 0-3, yet the Chiefs and Dolphins are 3-0.
Yeah, well, I think certainly the most exciting young player in the NFL is Patrick Mahomes. What an arm. It's unbelievable. He's a highlight film. I like Bryce Perkins, but in a different way. The Dolphins, I wasn't really sure what to make of that, but hey, they're a couple games ahead of the Patriots. Can they hold this up? We'll see.
Yep, absolutely. A lot of sports going on and so forth, and talking to Sonny Dearth. Sonny, before we talk about high school football, what else has intrigued you so far this early fall, whether it's college, the NFL, or high school? Obviously, Old Dominion beating Virginia Tech, and yet they're 1-3. I guess for Old Dominion, it'll be how they rebound and can they keep their heads up above water against East Carolina on the road.
Well, yeah, I think now we'll find out where the true Old Dominion team is. It's clear they're better than they were in the first 3 games, but they'll probably never have as great a result as they did last Saturday. And East Carolina, based on what we're seeing from them, should be a pretty close game. They lost to South Florida last weekend, but were competitive until the end.
Very nice. Sports has definitely been superseded by the weather this fall. Not that it's been cold or hot, but it's been a lot of rain. We really didn't have the hurricane effect of Florence and Hampton Roads other than rain, but rain has really wreaked havoc on the Peninsula District and even the South Side schedule.
Yeah, we're seeing some teams have to play 3 games in a week and a half. That's difficult.
What are your thoughts so far? I mean, you got some teams that are doing okay. Like Mike Smith has not even come back yet for Hampton. They've only played a few games because of one game got postponed and one game got weather delayed. But you've got Warwick off to a very good start too, and Woodside as well.
Yeah, Warwick's been the surprise story thus far. 4-1, after just going 2-8 a year ago. The best teams that we're seeing on the peninsula, I think, clearly are Lafayette in the Bay Rivers District and Phoebus on the peninsula. The good news for a team like Hampton is it's not that hard to make the playoffs anymore. And Mike Smith's coming back soon, so they'll be able to survive. But I think Phoebus probably is going to go 10-0 and contend for the state championship, and I certainly think Lafayette, again, is going to go 10-0 and should have a chance to maybe take the Class 4 crown.
Was there more of a story that Danny Mitchell just quit on Mike Smith because Mike counted on Danny, or is that just that he wanted to focus on baseball, his field, and he just kind of got burned out from the whole football thing? What did you guys find out?
I don't know any more than what I've read and edited for the paper on that one.
Yeah, definitely. It's been up and down as well. What about the South Side? How about Oscar Smith?
Oscar Smith's excellent. I mean, can you imagine if the Tigers weren't? You start with Cameron Kelly. He's an Auburn recruit now. He originally had picked Virginia Tech, but changed his mind. Very good player. There's some good depth over there. Murray is a vastly improved team. But gosh, Tens Cox, I think, is pretty good with Tavon Robinson, who's a Tech recruit. Should have some very interesting matchups coming down the pike. I mean, Oscar Smith has come so close to taking state. We'll see if they can.
Yeah, Oscar Smith's former quarterback playing for Jimmy Laycock, too.
That's correct, Sean Mitchell.
Yep, and of course when Tech lost Old Dominion, it seemed like Fuente made some changes too, so they're definitely going to – I think that was a fluke. I don't think that would happen but once, maybe in 10 games, but it did happen, and congratulations to Old Dominion. Sonny, thank you so much. Best of luck with the Daily Press and the Pilot both, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Sonny Dearth right there from the Daily Press. Stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages.
Mark your calendar for October 18th through the 20th as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church presents the Newport News Greek Festival Fall Edition, an indoor event inside the Hellenic Center. Enjoy Greek food, beverages, desserts, dancing, arts and crafts, and much more. Located on 60 Traverse Road off exit 258B on I-64 with free admission and parking. Log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. See you October 18th through 20th for the Newport News Greek Festival Fall Edition.
Opa! Interact with Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick. Email bicogb@hotmail.com. Now back to Greg Bicouvaris in the Hampton Roads OnlineMall.com studios.
And welcome back to Sports Scene. I want to thank our good friends at Sakura Japanese Restaurant. Go by and see Jasmine and her wonderful staff right there at the Walmart Way Crossing in Chesapeake. Give them a call at 410-4577 for excellent sushi and great lunch and dinner 7 days a week at Sakura Japanese Restaurant in Chesapeake by the Walmart Way Crossing. It's a pleasure to talk to our monthly featured guest, Gina Ippolito from Smithfield VA Events. Gina, how are you?
I'm good. Starting to get a little crazy, but we're doing well.
Yes, and speaking of crazy, you got your big event coming up in October.
We do. October 6th, it is our Bacon Bourbon Beach Music Festival, and we are gearing up for that. Stuff starts getting delivered this weekend, and tents start going up next week, and we'll start cooking that bacon. And
we've been talking all along since you getting ready for this nice event. I guess it's a totally different vibe when it gets closer to it as opposed to a month or two out. Now, pretty much it's game time now.
Oh, yes, it's definitely game time. I mean, we're doing some volunteer trainings this week. We've had, we've moved into our new office out here actually on the site. It's one of the restored buildings that's part of the historic restoration project out here. We were in the house part of it for the wine fest we had in April, but they reconstructed 2 barns on the property that used to be here, and those are now our storage facilities. So we had a ribbon cutting Sunday for the complex, I guess, and we're very excited to have a home to put our stuff in, and it'll make logistically things a lot different for this event compared to how we've done it in the past. But so we'll probably have a learning curve with some of it, but we're very organized now. Everything has a home, and we're super excited about that because it requires much less moving back and forth between events. So we're pretty super excited about that. But along with that, we've done some volunteer trainings, and people are starting to get ready to. We cook 2,400 pounds of bacon. So, I mean, that is over a ton of bacon. I mean, that in itself, we start on Wednesday before the event. And, I mean, that's kind of like a mini event before the event. So it's kind of a crazy way we do it, but it's a lot of fun, and the whole town pitches in. I mean, we have 3 shifts of people, about 30 people apiece, that start cooking bacon about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, and they cook till 9 o'clock at night. It's quite a process.
And you need a lot of people to make it happen because, you do 3 events a year, you do them right, you have it at a consistent location, consistent venue. Yes, you've done them for several years, but there's always new things that evolve yearly.
There are, and back to how we get what we do with our volunteers is always kind of interesting. We of course take benefiting organizations for the events on an annual basis, and those are organizations that we give $10,000 to each. And this year we have 7 for the calendar year. 2 of them come from the Bacon Bourbon Fest. So this year that's Christian Outreach, which is like our food pantry here locally. And then we also have the Alloways Humane Society. And then separate from that, we have about 40-something different organizations who come out and volunteer for our events. Kiwanis does our main gate. Rotary Club is in charge of cooking the bacon. The YMCA brings the staff out, and they do our drink ticket booth and one of our merchandise tents. The Women's Club does the other merchandise tent. I mean, I could go on, and we add up the hours that those volunteers work, and we make donations back to their organizations. Depends on the financial success for the event, but since we started this 7 years ago, we pay anywhere from $10 to $12 an hour for your time. So it's been a great thing for organizations here locally, plus we're also reaching out. We have some that come from Newport News or Suffolk. We have some military organizations that come out and volunteer also. So if you're involved in a group, we've lost some organizations over the last year, so we are kind of looking for some more. And so it's kind of a cool thing because we give back somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000 per event back to those organizations who come out and volunteer.
Talking to Gina Ippolito, and of course, it's a big field, it's a big area. Talk about Windsor Castle Park.
Windsor Castle Park is just one of the greatest things that's happened to Smithfield. The full thing is 208 acres. It's located right in downtown Smithfield. The property originally belonged to Arthur Smith, whose family came over from England, and they owned it for generations. And of course, at the time, they owned many, many, many more thousands of acres. It was a big working farm, and hence the name Smithfield. As Smithfield grew as a little river port town, they ended up giving the land that's currently downtown Smithfield, kind of where Wharf Hill is, where the wharf went in and out and the ships came in and out, to the town of Smithfield back in the 1700s. And slowly their farm got smaller and smaller. But over all this time, 208 acres of it remained. The property was sold to the Betts family, who lived here for generations, and the Betts family sold it to a developer at some point who tried to develop the property as an extension of downtown Smithfield. Never made it through the planning and zoning process. So to try to make a long story short, Mr. Joe Luter of Smithfield Foods purchased the property from the developer. He always envisioned the property as being a park. And this was probably back in 2008, 2009. And he put the park in, and then he gave it to the town of Smithfield. So Windsor Castle Park itself, 48 of those 208 acres, is the original homestead of the Arthur Smith family with what's called the Manor House and the barns, which is the area that we hold our events on. The rest of the park has, it's about 5 miles of walking trails. There's a state-of-the-art kayak launch. There's a dog park. There's a natural children's playground. There's a picnic area. And it's just beautiful because it's located, part of it's open fields, part of it's wooded. It's along the Pagan River and Cypress Creek. And it's just a beautiful thing. There's access points to it from various places in downtown Smithfield. So you can walk here from your neighborhood, from Smithfield Station, from downtown Smithfield. And it's quite popular. I mean, it's a great thing to have for the local community, but there also are a lot of people who come to visit Smithfield to be at Windsor Castle Park.
Very nice. And talk about, once again, what's going on with the Bacon Festival, the type of food there. Of course, they'll get the bacon, they get the bourbon, and you got 2 more events coming up after this.
We do, and the first thing I want to say is our Bacon Bourbon Fest this October 6th is sold out. The only tickets that are still available for that are that we have a Hampton Inn and Suites here who has a block of tickets if you get a hotel room. I checked with them a couple days ago. They had a handful of rooms left. But right now, that's the only way to score tickets. There is a wait list on our website, which is SmithfieldVABaconFest.com, if you're interested. But honestly, I don't think there's going to be any tickets that become available. So we're gearing up for that. And we've got, with your ticket, you get bacon, of course. And you don't just get little bacon. You get 8 pieces of big, thick Smithfield bacon. You can take it through the bacon condiment tent and dress it up if you want. It comes with 2 flour tortillas, and you can go in there and make a BLT wrap or turn it into bacon nachos, or we've got dips and shakes that you can put on it. And then, of course, the other big element to this event is the bourbon. If you have purchased the bourbon tasting ticket, you get a wristband with 10 tabs on it. And we've got probably about 70 bourbons. They'll be finalized. Tomorrow is the last day that we will be getting orders in from ABC. So we'll be finalizing our bourbon list, and we'll be getting it up on the website by the weekend. And there's about 70 of them you can choose from to do your tasting.
There's something for everyone there. Leave us with a website. Of course, you guys are on Twitter, Facebook. Talk about how people can connect with you for the future upcoming events.
Right. The best way to connect with us is our main website, which is SmithfieldVAEvents.com. And all 3 events are listed on there. You just click on the logo for the one that you're interested in. So this is the one that we do in October. We do the Bob Festival, which is a Bloody Mary oyster barbecue event. The DeLoreans are the band. It's a little different. It's under these big heated tents. It's Martin Luther King Saturday. But those tickets go on sale November 14th and 15th. So we'll be rolling right into that one when we get done with this one. And then our third event is the Wine and Brew Fest, which is in April. And it sells out very quickly also. That one. We started with that one first. We did that one for a couple of years before we branched off into the other 2. But all the information about them are you can link to from SmithfieldVAEvents.com.
Very nice. We will look forward to talking to you again very soon next month, hearing all about it toward the end of the month, and have a good rest of the week, Gina.
All right, you too. Thanks, Greg.
Always good to hear your voice. Gina Ippolito right there from the Smithfield VA Events. And Joe Daniel, as we always say, there really is a lot of fun things to do in the fall. It doesn't always have to involve the beach for people that like being on the land, too.
Like you said, during the fall, it doesn't always have to be about Halloween. You know, it's definitely a fun thing to do, being a part of the hay rides and the pumpkin patches and stuff. But this is also a really, really cool thing for adults, you know, the bacon and the bourbon. And like she said, the park is beautiful. Windsor Castle Park. If you haven't been, it is a beautiful park. Whenever I want to take my kids to a park, that is my park of choice.
Very nice. Want to thank our good friends at Outback Steakhouse in Kempsville. Go by and see Mike and their wonderful staff. They deliver excellent food, excellent burgers, steak, seafood, pasta. 1255 Fordham Drive in Virginia Beach. Give them a call at 523-4832. The best steakhouse in Kempsville. Great place to watch the games on TV, get a great meal, kick back with your friends, and book your holiday party at Outback Steakhouse in Kempsville. Call Call 523-4832.
Are you waking up with a damp, moldy, or mildew smell? Are you coughing all the time and blaming allergies? Over 30% of your household air comes from your crawl space. Schedule a free crawl space inspection and close your crawl space to prevent those microscopic allergens and spores in your household air. Install the Easy Breathe ventilation system talked about on the Gary Sullivan Show. Replacing that damp air with fresh, healthy air reduces allergens and other indoor toxins. To schedule your free inspection from the Crawl Space Company, call 757-394-3494.
Mark your calendar for October 18th through the 20th as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church presents the Newport News Greek Festival Fall Edition, an indoor event inside the Hellenic Center. Enjoy Greek food, beverages, desserts, dancing, arts and crafts, and much more. Located on 60 Traverse Road off exit 258B on I-64 with free admission and parking. Log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. See you October 18th through 20th for the Newport News Greek Festival Fall Edition.
Opa! You are listening to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris. Now, back to Greg. It's now time for Greg's Highlights, presented by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com.
Sports Scene is online on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Saturday on the radio from 10 to 11 on the Lighthouse 100.1 FM, 1010 AM, TuneIn.com, type in WPMH in the search bar, become a favorite on TuneIn, and like the GJB TV.com page on YouTube. HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com, the tourists love it. Browse, shop, visit, bookmark it. GJBTV.com, HRSMHOF.com. Our question of the day presented by Buffalo Wild Wings to our esteemed producer, Joe Daniel. Joe Daniel, at this stage in your life, you're still very young. You have 2 kids. You're very active with school and work and the radio. Is less is more, or do you like to do as many activities and have a full plate every day?
No, I don't like a full plate every day. I do like to run errands. I think that's always fun. I was talking to a friend about this actually just the other day. Like, I like running errands and doing one thing. So bouncing from one place, accomplishing something, bouncing to another place, accomplishing that task. So it depends on the day. But obviously, I love a lazy Sunday, where I just go to church and then for the rest of the day, I'm off. I have nothing going on, no plans. And those are always fun, where you can just take a hike or watch TV or do something like that.
You made a great point on a few sports scenes several episodes ago about going to church. It's fun to go to church, but the process of getting ready on a Sunday morning when your body and mind say, no, stay on the couch, eat breakfast, and watch TV.
Right, that's why I go to the later service as opposed to the early morning service.
Sports Scene will continue after these messages.
Mark your calendar for October 18th through the 20th as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church presents the Newport News Greek Festival Fall Edition, an indoor event inside the Hellenic Center. Enjoy Greek food, beverages, desserts, dancing, arts and crafts, and much more. Located on 60 Traverse Road off exit 258B on I-64 with free admission and parking. Log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. See you October 18th through 20th for the Newport News Greek Festival Fall Edition.
Opa! Catch up on archived editions of Sports Scene by going to gjbtv.com and clicking the YouTube image on the homepage. Now back to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris.
And welcome back to Sports Scene. I want to thank our good friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. Go by and see Paul and the wonderful staff. Great mozzarella sticks, traditional boneless wings, burgers, all the games on TV, adult beverages, wings, beer, sports, located at 12150 Jefferson Avenue in Newport News. Give Paul and this company a call at 249-3999. Lunch, dinner, late night to go. Download their app, like them on Facebook, go to their website as well. See some great specials, excellent rollout menu on game day too. Buffalo Wild Wings, your place in Newport News, right next to Patrick Henry Mall for a great meal. All right, your place to be in Virginia Beach every day is the Royal Chocolate. Let's welcome Brenda Tusing, the owner. How are you, Brenda?
I'm great today, Greg. How are you?
Very good, very good. Getting closer and closer to Halloween.
It's getting closer and closer to everything.
Yeah.
I am telling you what, it's freaky frightening how fast the time flies. We are all decked out in the colors of fall and Halloween. Our Halloween baskets are so pretty. We've got all kinds of fun things going on here for Halloween. Then we'll move, of course, into Thanksgiving and Christmas. But before I forget, Town Center has a huge town and treat on Halloween, Saturday of Halloween. Really safe and wonderful place for kids to go to all of the different businesses and get candy, and a lot of fun for us, too, because we get to see all these kids all dressed up and their parents and everything. A lot of fun. So that's something for everybody to put on their calendar, along with the very first Saturday of every month. So I think it's the 6th. Don't quote me on that date, but it's the first Saturday of October. Drop in, make your own chocolate bar for kids. Great fun, 11 to 2, no reservation needed. And just, come on in and make a chocolate bar. It's only $10. They decorate the box. It's great fun.
Very nice talking to Brenda Tusing from the Royal Chocolate. You can see them on Facebook as well as Instagram, too. And she is the owner and operator of this wonderful location. And I guess September, it's kind of weird because we're in the fall, but it's still a very hot, humid month. We've had a lot of rain, so this really doesn't feel like fall yet.
It doesn't yet. And I know I walk outside, and it's still hot.
Yeah.
And I come into the store, and it's all decorated for fall. We even have our 3-pound turkeys out already. So, yeah, it's fall in the store, and it's hot outside. So we just have to wait for fall to catch up with this temperature-wise, I suppose.
Absolutely. All right, when somebody walks into the store now, what are they seeing? They're seeing the great baskets. Or do you guys decorate kind of like each month?
We do to a degree. We're getting some Halloween stuff out now. A lot of what we decorate with are our gift baskets and the items that we have in the store. We have a really nice seating area, which people tend to forget about. And on the table are all the fall flowers now. So it does get a festive look, a seasonal look about it in the store. Halloween for us is just that. It's a great time to segue into the holidays for us. So we just have fun with it.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
You'll see a lot of things. You'll see one of the things you'll see is very festive looking is our fall-themed apple. We do the gourmet apples, and they're all Granny Smith, and they all have caramel. This particular apple of the month, and we will run this for a few months, also has a layer of pumpkin fudge that is dipped in the white milk or dark Belgian chocolate. It's excellent. Oh, and our pumpkin muffins. I almost forgot our pumpkin muffins. Greg, I don't know if you've ever had them, and if you haven't, you get in here and I'll give you one.
Okay.
They're fabulous. People wait for them to be in the case. They're excellent.
Very nice, very nice. And I guess that's all part of the fall tradition, too, seeing all the the different colors of the chocolate, too.
Yeah, everything just comes together. It's funny. I was just saying to somebody the other day, we always love when spring comes and the bright colors and everything, and then after a while you're tired of it, and it's just exciting somehow to see the colors change and things to just go that different direction right now. We're getting ready for the fourth quarter. It's a big time for us. And yeah, we're trying to keep up and trying to get ready and trying to make everything gorgeous.
Yeah, you really can't breathe until January. Then, of course, you got Valentine's Day. But one thing about chocolate, desserts, candies, you got beverages there as well. And, of course, you have a place to sit down, relax, catch up with a friend. It's a really nice pick-me-up in today's grind of the world we live in. It's
a very unique place. It's very quiet. Even though it's part of the retail, it's set back just a little bit. People come in and have chocolate fondue in the store. And just exactly what you're saying, sort of take that half hour, whatever, and just reconnect and just kind of go, and forget about things for a while. So it's really a great place for that. Hey, I got to tell you, we also have a new customer rewards program. We just started it this week. We're excited about it. We've always had a punch card, and people get frustrated with that. They lose the card, they didn't bring it with them, all those things. So now we're very... we're into the current century. So we're all automated now. With just a phone number, we can track all your sales. You get a point for every dollar you spend now in the store. Points add up, and you get free things.
Yeah, Steve got a dessert menu with credit cards at Chip, so everything is dessert related,
Everything is. That's right.
It seems like everything is automated. We live in a very, very automated world. And I always tell this to my friends, is it my generation, or are we working harder than our parents? Because it seems like everybody's taking work home. They're emailing. Yeah, they're using. Back in the day, you could get away on vacation. If you have your email, let's just say a basic email attached to your phone, you're really never away.
You're not. You're really not. Even, when I'm at home, if I have, the day off or whatever, I am always looking at my email, looking at Facebook. If somebody asked a question or needed information, I've got to be able to respond to them quickly. But you're right, we're way too connected. Every once in a while, I think you need to go somewhere far, far away in the mountains where there's no signal and unplug.
Yeah, I've been Googling a lot of these hot spring spas in Colorado, so that should tell you something. All you need to know right there.
There's where your mind's going. I got it. Well, come in. At least you can come and sit in the Royal Chocolate like I'm doing right now. I'm just looking out the window, and across from us, of course, now is Pottery Barn in Williams-Sonoma. So I'm looking at their windows, and they're just beautifully displayed, and just watching the people walk around, and I may just sit here all day.
Nothing wrong with that because
there is something wrong with that. My work doesn't get done, but hey.
Well, let me ask you. Let me ask you this question because you're very connected with the retail area in Hampton Roads. How is it in Virginia Beach? What's your opinion? How has it evolved? I know obviously your area has evolved a lot, but just in general, some businesses make it, some don't, some come and some go.
I know, and I have to say I ask myself the same question because I look around. We've been here 12 years. And for a small local store, that's a huge success. And some people don't make it. I really, truly think it's a lot of times just cash flow and money management. We're not starting out with enough money. People underestimate, I know that we did, what it really costs to get someone to come in your store and shop with you. That thing where they used to say, build it and they'll come. No, they won't. They have to find out about you. And it's a very, very fast-paced world. People are just as likely to overlook you as they are to stop in. So you have to reach out to those people always, constantly. Remind them of what you do for them. Remind them that you're here. And especially for a small business, that's tough.
Yeah, you have to stay relevant. You just can't rely on social media. That's why we do this radio show.
Sure,
and folks,
absolutely.
If you want to hear some of Brenda's interviews from the archives, just type in her name on the YouTube search box. Type in Sports Scene. You can hear any of her wonderful interviews all 12 months out of the year. Also, too, you talk about another problem I noticed that a lot of mom and pops do is when the owners aren't present after a while, they delegate a little bit too much. And then, of course, it starts to go down because people still like to see the owner's face.
I know. And it's funny because, like I said, we've been here 12 years. We have the most amazing staff. I mean, these people are fantastic, really, truly fantastic, just as people, but also as employees. They're wonderful. And so, Terry and I aren't here, like we're not usually here at night. I'm not typically here a lot of times, parts of the weekend and things, and we do manage to get away. But you're right, you have to keep that. You have to keep that presence. People do want to see you. They want to know that your business is important to you. Because if it's not important to you, why should it be important to them?
Right.
So they do want to see that you're involved, that you're there, that you care.
Yeah, because I always say the owners are a bridge to the public.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, leave us with how people can connect with you, your address, phone number, and everything.
Phone number 757-557-6925. We are on Facebook at The Royal Chocolate. We have an Instagram page. And what else do we have? We have something else. Instagram.
You're on Twitter?
We might have Twitter. I'm a little old school. I just have never tweeted anything or been on Twitter my whole life. I do have somebody that helps me with social media, so she may be tweeting things, but I can promise you I'm not.
Right.
But find us on Facebook. That's where our great specials are, and also on Instagram. Or just come on in and see us.
And open 7 days a week.
We are.
Brenda, all the best. Have a good rest of the week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you, Greg.
Thank you. Brenda Tusing right there from the Royal Chocolate. And Joe Daniel, like you said, in life's journey where we're overstressed, overworked, we don't take enough time to smell the roses, it's really important to kick back, treat yourself to dessert, treat yourself to a muffin, like she said, and just let the worries go.
Yeah, having that dessert, that moment to yourself. And like you said, with the build your own candy bar, sometimes you just need a break from something and do something fun like that. And what could be better than making your own chocolate bar, making your own candy bar, adding whatever flavors, and then enjoying something that you made.
Want to thank our good friends at No Forks Cheesesteaks and More, open Monday through Friday from 11 to 4, located at 5045 Virginia Beach Boulevard and Theo's Plaza Shopping Center, 473-0087. Folks, delicious, consistent cheesesteaks, JoJo, the CBP, the cheesesteak fry basket, no forks burger, cheddar bacon burger, mushroom and Swiss burger. Excellent sides, excellent beverages as well. Go by and see Patty and her wonderful staff. You'll be treated like a king by the time you walk in there, and like a queen as well. Excellent food, a consistent place, a great atmosphere. Open Monday through Friday is No Forks Cheesesteaks and More, your place for an excellent meal today.
What tees you off? Presented by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com.
Want to thank our good friends at Panera. All items 100% clean. They do catering. They deliver soups, sandwiches, salads, bagels, bread, smoothies, a wonderful menu, cookies, desserts, beverages. Go by and see Heather and the staff. For more, go to PaneraBread.com. Food as it should be. Phone number is 483-3670. Located at 6255 College Drive in Harborview in Northern Suffolk. A great meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All right, what teased me off, Joe Daniel? When you walk into a place and you see a person who is positioned in their seat, to obviously make eye contact and people watch on purpose. So when you walk into a building, there's always somebody right there sitting at their seat position to see who walks in and to be nosy, like, what do you have on? What are you wearing? And who are you with? That type of look.
You pretty much just identified me. I am that person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love people watching. I love being aware of my surroundings and who's coming in, who's going out, and what are people wearing? What are people doing? How are they interacting with each other? So that you pretty much described me. I'm not one of those. I'm not nosy to where I'm getting into people's business, but I do think that I'm kind of observant in the sense of, like I said, I want to just be aware of what's around me and what's going on. And I think people interacting with each other is extremely fascinating, because that's what I'm going to school for, to learn about sociology and social psychology and all that.
It's really funny too, because when you go to the grocery store on a Saturday morning, you're normally not dressed, you maybe not even showered the way you want to be. And it's totally different from going to dinner at 5 o'clock when you're buttoned up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
It can catch you off guard. You're exactly right. Constant upcharges on free items, like a free burger, but you have to get it a certain exact way, the exact ingredients, and they push sides and beverages down your throat. You like free item, huh? What kind of free item is that?
Yeah, where they limit your free item to where it's something that really nobody wants anyways.
Not a big fan of drive-thrus, but at least get the change right. If it's $3.78, give me $1.22, not less than it's supposed to be. Pay attention, absolutely, always. All right, the term radio silence. Really? Most radios are loud.
Yeah, I mean, I get the expression. We have in the industry, whenever it's silent, it's called dead air. And so, but yeah, you hear that radio silence where it's just that hum. Yeah, I've definitely heard people say that.
In life in general, getting too high or too low, best to be centered and balanced.
Yeah, absolutely. Making sure you want to try to keep your lows, from getting too low, and keep your highs from getting too high, I guess. I mean, always enjoy the moment and be present in the moment. But I think living your life not so much as like spikes high and spikes low, but trying to have this up and down where hilly life, I think, is like what I think you're saying.
Absolutely, right in the middle. High school reunions, what's the point? They're competing with Facebook and social media now. People go to high school reunions to see each other, but they can see each other on Facebook or social media.
Yeah, I wonder when those things will be outdated. I don't know, because people are so involved in the social media aspect. But I understand, a 20-year reunion, and just seeing people after 20 years that you more or less grew up with and saw their development and these really important years of their life that they'll never forget. I think something about connecting with those people again, I think, is really important and cherished.
Yeah, life is about face-to-face, not just always over the phone. Unkempt lawns, especially in the summer and the fall, when you see that long grass by that neighbors, and you can always tell people are walking their dog and they're like looking over.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
So you are? Okay.
Sometimes I try to avoid mowing the lawn as much as I can. I hate mowing the lawn. I need to just hire a service to get it done regularly so it looks maintained. But yeah, because I do it myself, I just try to avoid it for as long as I can until that grass is just like, okay, it's now a forest in here. Yeah,
I'd rather get just AstroTurf or something. Copycats, that's never fun to see somebody copying everything you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, be an individual. Be original, be an individual. Absolutely. Never try to follow someone to try to fit in. I think it's important to stand out, voice your opinion, and like I said, be an individual.
Right. Cocky people who always said, I told you so.
No one ever likes anybody who has ever said, I told you so. You know, it's okay giving the warning, but never say, I told you so. It's a horrible way to impose yourself onto somebody else's poor decision, because that's how people learn, making bad decisions sometimes, and they have to learn from those mistakes.
There's nothing worse than when your tires go bad driving the rain at night. It's horrible.
And then having to pull over, and then, like you said, if it's raining, and then having to get out of your car and you're soaking wet, you're frustrated with the whole situation anyways, and now you're drenched.
That's what tees me off. I want to thank all of our guests on Sports Scene today. For more, log on to gjbtv.com every Saturday from 10 to 11 on 100.1 FM, 1010 AM, tunein.com, type in WPMH in the search bar. For Joe Daniel, I'm Greg Bicouvaris. We'll talk to you soon.